Welcome to your 4 to 5, everybody. Eric, Chad, Tim, Lauren. We've got a full house day. Jalen Gilkey's over there. Manning Frank's over here.
We've got a
Did I
lot
leave
going
out
on.
anybody?
Yes.
We got the whole gang.
Yes.
A lot in store for us, and thanks for watching us on News 2, Fire Stick, Roku, and we're also on the News 2 app.
And you heard him tease that Manning Franks is in the house today with a movie review of a name that I cannot pronounce.
Me either.
So we will see that coming up here in the next half an hour.
So glad they gave you that line instead of B.
Right, yeah, thanks.
He didn't even say it.
No, he won't
But
say
I
it.
looked at
He
it in
just
the
says, "I
script,
can't say it."
and I was glad I didn't get that line. But moving on to some of our top stories, a Triad Church is bouncing back from an unfortunate loss with the help of the Greensboro Grasshoppers.
Someone robbed the food pantry at Vandalia Presbyterian Church over the weekend. And since then, a whole lot of people stepped up and turned a tragedy into a miracle. WFNY News 2's Jalen Gilkey found out how.
Yeah, guys, when members of the Vandalia Presbyterian Church discovered their food pantry had been robbed, they were devastated. Hundreds of dollars worth of meat disappearing overnight. It had already been a slow year for donations for the pantry without this setback, and this robbery dropped morale even lower. That is, until word got out amongst the community, and then the donations started to pour in.
People coming in with bags of food, going to the grocery store, buying meat, bringing it in, bringing in canned goods, and bringing in money, lots of donations. And so we're now feeling really good.
In the last 48 hours, the pantry has gotten donations from random strangers, families that live nearby, and even some of the biggest businesses in Greensboro, including Donald Moore and the Greensboro Grasshoppers.
It's so sad that one of the biggest problems we have in this community is hunger. And then to think of a place like the church there that's doing such a great deed and feeding these hungry people in need, all of a sudden gets everything stolen from them. And we just felt like, you know, hey, if we step up and help them a little bit, then maybe that'll make other people aware of the situation, and you know, they might want to help also.
And that's exactly what has happened. The good people at Vandalia Presbyterian not only have received an increase in donations, they've also seen some new faces come in and take advantage of the resources they provide. If you are one of those people in need, we've linked the contact information for the church and the food pantry and the info on our website.
I just can't imagine why someone would steal all food.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. From a church.
you could make a funny joke like, well, inflation is so high that people are stealing food, but I can't imagine that has anything to do with it.
And actually stealing from a church, especially in a
that's the
time
key.
where everybody's really struggling at this moment, and this is for people who truly need it. When I got the release in my email about this, I just was like, who does that?
It's unbelievable that this situation, that we find ourselves in this situation, this story having to be told. But I can only imagine how desperate someone must have been to actually put themselves in this situation. And I'm just glad that the community has been able to step up, not only replace what was gone and has been taken, but I mean, they have more food than they started with.
Yeah.
They have more monetary donations that they can go out and buy things with than they started with and they began with. So what turned out to be, you know, an unfortunate situation has really turned out to be a blessing.
And props to the Hoppers,
I was
too.
just
Yeah.
about to say the same
I
thing.
mean, they didn't have to do anything.
No, and they stepped up. They're so community focused, and some organizations like that, they're just there for their baseball stuff, and that is not the Grasshoppers. They get involved.
Absolutely. All right, Jalen, great story.
Thank you.
All right, let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup now. First up today, we are learning more about a triad man accused of having a weapon of mass destruction. Eden police arrested 61-year-old Wayne Madison yesterday at his home on a street called the Boulevard. Police have been out there all day today, and the road near his house is still closed. We heard from neighbors who say they've had concerns for some time now. Court documents show neighbors called police for noise complaints and suspicious activity in the past. We are diving deeper into this investigation coming up at 5.
Community members are calling for change after 2 children died on Halloween night in Oak Ridge. 14-year-old Aaliyah Thornhill died Sunday on Haw River Road. 3 years after 11-year-old Noah Chambers died just a short distance away. Both of them were hit by a vehicle while out trick-or-treating. Tonight, the town council is holding a meeting about the area. Leaders say due to the road crossing into Stokesdale, any changes will involve those town officials as well. There's now a larger reward for an unsolved Greensboro murder. Crime Stoppers is now offering $50,000 for information about the murder of Mark Friedman. Someone shot and killed him outside of his business, Mark's Restaurant, on election night 2 years ago. Loved ones are holding a vigil tonight in his honor at the Walmart grocery parking lot on Friendly Avenue. Researchers in the UK now believe monkeypox can be transmitted before symptoms even occur. The study shows transmission detected up to 4 days before people begin feeling anything. Experts say the findings highlight the need to vaccinate as many people as possible against this virus. Right now, there's nearly 700 monkeypox cases in North Carolina.
The state's weekly COVID update is showing a surprising trend. COVID hospitalizations have gone up every day but one over the past week. The latest patient count here in the red is 687. It's about 100 patients higher than last week's update, which is pretty significant. Even this upward trend that we saw over the past week is something that we haven't seen over these last 2 months. I'll keep my eye on it.
One of the fastest spreading illnesses among children in the United States right now isn't COVID or the flu, but a respiratory virus known as RSV. Now help could finally be on the way. This week, Pfizer announced its creation of a vaccine that could protect newborns from the virus. When given to pregnant women in trials, it was almost 82% effective in preventing RSV in babies up to 3 months old. It was almost 70% effective in children through 6 months of age. Dr. Mike Cinnamon is the director of the Pediatric Intensive Care Unit at Cone Health. He says he's optimistic about Pfizer's latest development.
RSV has been very difficult and a real challenge to make an effective vaccine for it. People have been working on that one for many, many years. It potentially could be an incredibly effective tool. I mean, RSV causes lots of misery in small children.
Reports show RSV cases are rising in 36 states across the country at an alarming rate. Dr. Cinnamon says this increase is partially due to children not being exposed to the virus and developing immunity during the COVID pandemic lockdowns.
And this year, I mean, we are seeing more children in the emergency department, in the hospital, and doctor's office than any of us can remember in recent years. Our hospitals are very busy with children who are sick. ERs are full, and this is true throughout the country and state. This is not just unique to us in Greensboro. It's a national situation.
RSV can also be dangerous for older adults too. Pfizer and its competitor GSK recently announced their shots also provided protection for seniors. Pfizer says it plans to seek FDA approval this year. Now, health experts say the findings raise the prospect that the vaccines might become available before next fall's RSV season. As we know, RSV is not new. It is pretty common, but as Dr. Cinnamon was telling me, it's those younger children, it's those babies, the small ones, premature babies, any babies with some type of health defect like a hole in their heart. They're the ones that are most susceptible to this virus and can develop some breathing issues down the way, or even, sadly, death.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier in the newsroom, and I've had friends that their kids have gotten RSV. Actually, my niece's little kid had it when she was super young, and it is a dangerous, we hear about it all the time, and I think a lot of people just go, oh, RSV, I've heard about that my whole life, but it really is more serious than people think. And that COVID, I've never heard anybody say what he said to you about that because of COVID, they didn't get a chance to build up immunity. I didn't think about that. It makes total sense.
It does.
It's wild that we are still seeing effects from the COVID, the lockdown, the bad part of COVID, still today.
Still today. In every way, whether it's health, the economy, there's so many ways that this has impacted and changed our world forever, for sure.
As a parent, I'll tell you, one of the most helpless feelings in the world is when your kid has a breathing issue.
Yes.
Because my twins had that early on. It was almost like asthma that they grew out of. That's a horrible feeling for a parent to watch their child gasp for breath.
Well, help is on the horizon, so we'll just keep our eyes posted on that one.
All right, let's check in with Tim, see what's happening with the forecast.
Thank you, guys. Everything is doing fine here outside. Blue sky has returned to the Triad. We don't have any clouds any longer. It's just a gorgeous day of weather. Notice that blue sky over downtown Greensboro. How nice is it? It's 69 degrees at the moment. We have a bit of a breeze coming in out of the north for today. And looking on the wide picture, remember those clouds, even a couple of sprinkles from yesterday? Well, that system has pivoted as expected. It's now kind of just swirling over the Atlantic Ocean we reap the benefits. Beautiful weather right now. Let's show you those local temperatures, even comfortable in the North Carolina mountains right now, from the low to mid 60s, upper 60s for the North Carolina foothills, and right around 70 Greensboro, the cooler spot for some reason. Who knows about that? As far as your forecast tonight, we'll be cooling slowly down into the mid 50s closer to midnight. Not cold. We've really been running above normal with our nighttime temperatures all week long, only right around 50 tomorrow morning. And then for tomorrow, just warmer than we were today, all the way to the mid 70s. I think it'll be around 73, 74 for your Friday afternoon. But by the weekend, notice how these clouds are thickening up. We're going to get that moisture coming in off of the ocean. So as it rises in elevation, it's likely to create more cloud cover out in our western counties with a couple of scattered showers. Most of the Triad should stay dry on Saturday and very warm. Upper 70s are possible right here in our areas. As far as tomorrow, low 50s for the morning, mid 70s for your afternoon. Great weather for any playoff football games getting going in our area. And as far as the 7-day goes, I've just upped all of these temperatures. We're up to 76 Saturday, 77 for Sunday, close to 80 by Monday. That low shower chance is there mostly for our western counties Saturday and Sunday.
Breaking news, you are still not a billionaire, and the Powerball jackpot is still climbing. No one matched last night's numbers for the $1.2 billion. The prize is now $1.5 billion, the third highest in U.S. history. The next drawing is on Saturday. If nobody wins that one, the jackpot could move up to the second highest.
While none of us may have won the Powerball, our very own meteorologist Monique Robinson is celebrating a major win. She isn't with us today because she participated in Tech Talk Greensboro. Take a look at her. Doesn't she look amazing? This event consisted of several speakers from across our area giving talks on the theme of what if. Monique shared how she explores that question with innovation and science. Monique, we're all very proud of you and know you represented your community well. Tune in with us on Monday when Monique is back in the studio. She can tell us all about it. We'll be right back.
Well, like it or love it, it's almost time to roll back the clocks. Daylight saving time ends on Sunday, gives us an extra hour of sleep. But what does that mean for your overall health? WFMY News 2 Sydney Moore explains how the shift can impact your well-being.
Can you believe it? It's that time again to change our clocks due to the end of daylight saving time.
Which can affect various hormone levels in our body. And this might lead to mood disorders.
But there are ways to minimize the impact of the clock shift, and you can start tonight. Dr. Daniel Job with Novant Health says before Sunday, try to set your clock back 15 minutes every night rather than trying to shift to a full hour at once.
Other things that might help would be to avoid alcohol and caffeine in the late afternoon and evening hours. Minimize screen time in the evening.
With the lack of sunlight in the evening time impacting our mood, if you find yourself sensitive to that before heading home from work, there's one thing you can install.
You can buy what are called full spectrum light bulbs that you can install in fixtures, and they mimic the light of the sun, and perhaps installing those in your workplace and being exposed to that during the day might help your mood.
Otherwise, engage in activities that promote good health, spend time with friends, and exercise frequently.
So I've never been one to feel like the change in time has really affected me. It's just, it's an hour. It's like Tim always says, if you fly to Chicago, you're going to get another hour time change.
Yeah.
So, but I understand the importance of like the daylight. Right, and how sometimes once you get this time of year and there's more darkness as the sun goes down sooner, I mean that it can affect your mentality.
While daylight saving hasn't affected my mental, I know that the season changes can definitely do that, and a lot of people have experienced that. So these same tips that Sydney gave can apply to that as well.
If you have kids, the hardest part is like I was driving my daughter to school yesterday, and she goes, "It's pitch black out here," and I was like, "I know, it's just the time change."
You're like, "Are we early?"
Yes, it's the way it is. And you're pulling up to the elementary school in total darkness, with your headlights on.
Right.
It's kind of crazy.
But it'll be on the flip side next week.
That's right. That's exactly right. All right. We'll take a short break. We'll see you in a bit.
Hello,
Hey,
Facebook.
Facebook. We're having a rager, or is that what you call it?
A rager, yeah, Rage Fest.
Still say that?
I like when Brad does this and then he switches between cameras really quickly to make it kind of look like we're recording a music video.
Okay. What are we gonna do? Okay, 1, 2.
Chad likes to talk, so Oh, it's going old school. Look at Chad. He's voguing.
Hey,
There's Franny.
get it. Hey.
Hey, Brad, you should put Franny on so we can talk about her. Let's put her on.
Hey, Francis.
Hey, Francis, turn around. Turn around.
Turn around, Francis.
Yeah, she's only showing
There
us her
she
ponytail.
is.
There you go.
So Francis is one of our newest producers. And so she is learning, Kayana, obviously, on Facebook, people.
Yep.
And so
There she is.
Kayana is putting Franny through producer boot camp right now. So she's going to be able to fill in and do all the things.
Fran took my desk today, so she can sit next to
Oh,
Kayla.
wow.
So
She
she's moving in.
already thinks that she's like top dog around here, huh?
Yeah.
Taking over.
Let us know what your weekend plans are.
Oh.
Oh, I like that. They're gonna break our cameras. That was crazy weird.
That was kind of cool. Now I'm dizzy.
I need to go find
I know, I'm like-
your head, Brad's head. Or I just told you, Brad. Bye.
Welcome back, everybody. Before the break, we were talking about the time change. Everything is going to be different by Sunday into Monday. Just to add a little context to that conversation, here's where we are now. The sunset is at 6:21. The sunrise, though, this is about as late as it gets throughout the year, 7:44. So the big change you'll notice if you're an early riser will be next week. We have those sunrises back before 7 a.m. So it'll be around 6:45 on Sunday morning. Your sunsets are going to look a lot earlier though. That's that hard pill to swallow. But the good news is that the worst that it gets for us is about 5:05. That's only 4 weeks away. And then slowly but surely that will start to get better, especially as we go into January. The days start to get a little bit longer. Temperatures today, pretty comfortable, right? Really easy. You don't have to heat the house. You don't have to cool the house. It's that kind of weather we have. And the sun is back. That system that was overhead, it moved away. Now it's swirling out over the Atlantic Ocean. And everybody, not just us, pretty much everybody is warm right now in the eastern U.S. From the deep south, they're in the 80s. You look all the way up into the Midwest. Places that shouldn't be warm are really warm, but a big change too. 33 there, 73 there. It's a big cold front trying to move across the country. We'll stay sunny and dry and comfortable through tomorrow. We'll keep a high right around the mid 70s or so. We'll get even warmer than that by Saturday, but along those lines, we'll see some moisture build up in the foothills. So if you live in the western counties or the mountains, clouds will be a little thicker for Saturday and for Sunday. Both days have a low chance of a shower. In the Triad, we should stay mostly dry much of the weekend. Take a look. We could get close to 80 by Monday and then way cooler going into next week.
Oh, hi there. Oh, is my mic on? Is my mic? Mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. How now, brown cow? How?
We have all been in friendships that have run their course. One person is ready to move on while the other is still holding on. Well, that's the backdrop of the new film, The Banshees of Inisherin.
It follows the fallout of two friends entrenched in conflict fueled by pride and ego. But will directors successfully capture the intricate plot? Movie critic Manning Franks finds out.
You know, friendships are a funny thing when you think about it. Two initial strangers talk often enough and form a lasting bond. Through the good and the bad, they become friends. Sadly, some friendships just erode over time. But what if one side of the friendship just wanted to end it? They wanted nothing to do with you whatsoever. Well, the Banshees of Inisherin poses that question, and through a darkly comedic tone, it will have you laughing 1 second and then thinking the next. It's a really great combination.
Now, if I've done something to you, just tell me what I've done to you.
Well, you didn't do anything to me. I just don't like you no more.
You didn't like me yesterday.
In a small village off the coast of Ireland, Colm abruptly severs his friendship with his lifelong pal, Padraig. This sudden change sends Padraig into a tailspin with a singular goal to repair the damaged friendship and find out what made his old friend cut ties. Only Colm seems steadfast in his decision.
Sit somewhere else.
It's only a matter of time before the two of them escalate this one-sided feud to the point of no return. Disarmingly witty in its dialogue and yet routinely introspective in how it deals with the dynamics of relationships, The Banshees of Inisherin unfolds like you have taken a front row seat to an intimate 3-act play. That makes sense, as director-writer Martin McDonagh uses his playwright skills to great effect in this film, allowing us, the audience, to experience this personal dissolving of a relationship. McDonagh never wastes a scene as the film builds and builds to its escalatory conclusion. Colin Farrell has never been better, as he carries both the innocent charm and deep sadness of Padraig like he himself has existed on this island all his life. His co-star, Brendan Gleeson, is equally fantastic and counterbalances Farrell with adept ease. In addition, Kerry Condon is arguably the acting highlight as Padraig's sister, Siobhan. Condon steals almost any scene she is in with a commanding presence and yet a forlorn resolve of loneliness. It is such a rich acting ensemble. While it will elicit chuckles at its situational absurdity at times, The Banshees of Inisherin is a character study into the psyche of two friends who have gone their separate ways, with one unwilling to let that go. It plays like a tall tale, a mythic warning for our darker humanity, with humor and with sorrow laced throughout. With that, Banshees is a 2 approved. For now, see it only in theaters.
Inisherin.
That would sound so deep.
Congratulations.
Yes, that's right. I've got to round of
Everyone
applause.
applaud. Yeah, there we
Chance,
go. Thank you. Good
absolutely. It seems like it's so deep that half of the American audience is going to go, I don't know about
Well,
this.
yes, because it plays, as I said, like a mythic tale, but has some comedic and dramatic, a dramedy, a dark comedy, if you will, because there are some really dark moments where it's like, wow, but I'm laughing at this? This is like absurd in a way.
Compared to the other movies that you've seen throughout the year, because you know we're almost to the end of the year, where does this fall in line on the scale?
Surprisingly, when I first saw it, I was kind of like, I don't understand this. What is this? See, even I can't get things on the first try, and I have to think about it and maybe watch it again. I haven't watched it again yet. But when I do, maybe start to dwell on it and think about it, it's a lot higher than it initially was. It builds over time.
And so we were asking you, when did this movie come out? And you said tomorrow.
Yes.
And of course, Lauren was like, how did you get to see it so early? So explain how, how your job allows you to do
quickly.
that.
So what I do is I will get emails from different distributors, and they'll be like, hey, we have a press screening here in Raleigh or Charlotte, because come on, Triad, come to the Triad. So I have to make the drive out, but I can't always go to all of them, So
He's an official movie
I know,
critic, so he gets the nod there.
Well, we appreciate your insight.
I appreciate
Love your
you.
reviews.
And he's sticking around, so ask him some questions on Facebook, and we will catch up with him in the next half hour. We'll be right back.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to your 4 to 5. Eric Chilton alongside Chad Silver, Lauren Coleman, Manny Franks. On standby back over there.
Yes. Having a lot of fun with him during the breaks. Thanks for watching us on News 2, Fire Stick, Roku, and we're also on the News 2 app.
Coming up this half hour, we're going to be talking about some of the best things to buy in November. Obviously, we have Black Friday coming up, but what are some of the other things? Electronics, home goods, we're going to be talking about all of that. What you might want to buy today is what would be nice in nice weather.
In clear weather?
Yeah.
My gosh, new sunglasses. You never go wrong
Tim
with that.
Buckley. Looks like Tim Buckley needs some sunglasses out there.
He does.
Buy yourself a nice lemonade or something. Right?
Right, yeah.
That'll work.
Go buy a frozen turkey. 3 weeks until Thanksgiving, everybody. You got to get ready. It is beautiful outside. If you haven't had a chance to be outdoors, hope you can before the sun goes down, which happens pretty soon, a little less than 2 hours away. So this day is coming to a close, but it's been a beauty for sure. You know, I always say throughout the year, everybody asks for sunshine and 70 degrees. We don't have quite as many of those days as you think. They're usually in the spring or in the fall. So enjoy this while we have it, because again, it's going to be too cold pretty shortly as we go into December. Sunshine's out right now. We're in the upper 60s and low 70s. All the rain and cloud cover we had from yesterday, that's way off the Carolina coast. So no issues there. Looking at your neighborhood temperatures, 59 in Boone, 68 Wilkesboro. Everybody else pretty much in the same boat, right around 70 to 71. Now for tonight, what we're going to see is temperatures cooling off pretty slowly, going into the mid 50s by around midnight, and then over the morning hours you'll be in those 50s as well. So it's cool, but it's not a cold night of weather by any means. Going into tomorrow, what we'll see though is even warmer than we were for today. Still mostly sunny, partly cloudy, right there in the low 70s for your Friday afternoon. And then by the weekend, the clouds will start to thicken up a little bit. So we'll have some cloud cover on Saturday, still sunshine too, but the shower chance will be with us on Saturday, mostly for our western counties and toward the North Carolina mountains. Something to keep an eye on for both Saturday and for Sunday as we get a little bit on that more cloudy side of things. As far as Friday goes, sunshine. We're in the low to mid 70s for your highs there, and we're in good shape for the rest of the 7-day. We'll have that in just a couple of minutes.
Hey, don't miss a weather update in your area. Download the free News 2 app. Our team is rated the most accurate in the Triad 15 of the last 16 years. All right, let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup now. First up today, a man in Eden is in jail accused of having a weapon of mass destruction. Police arrested 61-year-old Wayne Madison yesterday at his home on a street called the Boulevard. Neighbors told us today they've been startled by loud booms there and are relieved no one got hurt. Court documents show neighbors called police for noise complaints and suspicious activity in the past. We're digging deeper into the investigation coming up at 5. The Oak Ridge Town Council will meet tonight, and one of the big topics on the agenda, Haw River Road. It's where 2 trick-or-treaters were hit and killed 3 years apart. There's a push to make changes to the road to make it safer. Friends and family gathered in Oak Ridge last night to remember Aaliyah Thornhill's life. She died on Halloween night. We'll keep you posted.
Today, Governor Roy Cooper stopped in the Triad to visit a High Point Child Care Center. He talked about North Carolina's child care stabilization grants. Governor Cooper says our state used $800 million in American Rescue money. The goal, cutting the cost of child care. Governor Cooper says the grants will continue through the end of next year. The owner at Kid Appeal Learning Center in High Point received some of the grant money. They used it to drop enrollment fees, give teachers raises, and buy new playground equipment. Governor Cooper believes reducing the cost of child care will help to reduce the costs to families. The demand for IT-trained employees continues to grow as technology takes over. Tonight, the Guilford County Schools is holding a session to help parents land jobs in tech.
GCS is intentional about addressing the racial wealth gap. When we think about race, it continues to be the biggest predictor of outcomes. And so we want to make sure that not only are we certifying our students so that they have choices for careers and not just graduation, be it immediate employment, them enrolling in a college or university, them enlisting in the military, or pursuing an entrepreneurial venture. We want parents and guardians to have some of those same on and off ramps for success.
The classes start tonight at 5:30 at the GCS Administration Building. For more information, look for this story on our website.
All right, with people going back to school and work, doctors fear the epidemic of eating disorders will even get worse. Now, there's a new focus on getting help for minorities who suffer from the disorder and often don't have equal access to treatment.
I was very conscious about my weight since I was a child.
Tiffany Ramirez says she has been struggling with an eating disorder since she was 10 years old.
I kind of got the nickname skinny girl, but in Spanish it's flaca. And for me, that was kind of like my image, and I wanted to keep that image.
At 22, this Temple University student now knows she had a distorted view of herself.
When I was really, really thin, I would look in the mirror and say, like, I need to be thinner.
The epidemic of eating disorders skyrocketed during the pandemic, isolation and social media overexposure being big triggers. Added stress now coming from going back to school and work.
There's social pressure, there's academic pressure, there's appearance pressure.
Rebecca Eyre is with Project HEAL, an organization focused on creating equitable access to eating disorder care.
Less than 20% of people with eating disorders ever access treatment due to exorbitant costs, prohibitive insurance barriers, and systemic biases about who has eating disorders.
She says Tiffany's story is typical of what often happens to minorities with eating disorders. They're underdiagnosed or ignored.
I called every facility in Philadelphia that helped with eating disorders, and they all say they don't help people with government insurance. I do think that there is systemic racism here when it comes to eating disorder treatment.
Tiffany says she finally found help with free programs at Temple. She hopes sharing her story helps others find treatment.
Wow, so smart for being so young. I mean, just hearing her talk, I mean, she's done her research. She knows what's up.
If anybody, I think everybody probably has known somebody that has dealt with this or struggled with it, and it can be deadly. I mean, you slowly watch, someone waste away, and to think that the color of your skin is stopping you from getting treatment for this is horrible.
Yeah, absolutely. I think also when it comes to these kind of disorders, it starts, at a young age at home, telling your children you're beautiful and wonderfully made, and if there is some type of, they need to lose some weight or something, doing it in a way where we get the family involved, but just talking about it in a healthy way.
Oh, it's healthy eating.
Healthy eating, getting involved in sports,
right.
and just parents also being conscious of how they talk about weight loss and things of that nature, because your kids watch and they might, take that in as well.
I remember, families can pick on each other, but we don't allow other people to pick on us. You know that thing. But you can't do those little nicknames. I remember a kid growing up, and his brothers and sisters would pick on him for being heavy. And I'm like, you're setting him up.
Yeah, you stick with that stuff.
Kids can be cruel,
really,
right? And I say that, but I also say that I was one of those cruel kids. I mean, as a kid, everybody makes fun of other kids.
We've all been on the receiving end, and we've all done the
That's exactly right.
Exactly. And I don't know the solution. I mean, is it just easy to tell a kid stop making fun of other people just because they're different than you? I mean,
you can't control it completely.
It's a tough conversation.
Your answer is right, parents.
Yeah.
It really starts with the parents.
You are beautiful and wonderfully made.
No matter what they say about you, yes. All right. So if you are a loved one maybe struggling with an eating disorder, there are resources available. We have a number on your screen there. It is 800-931-2237. That's the National Eating Disorder Helpline. Counselors are ready to talk Monday through Thursday from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. or on Friday from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Translation services, by the way, are also available on the phone. We'll be back.
Hey, ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie, they forever go together like a classic combination. Okay, it is November 3rd. We are in the first week of November. Is it now time for Christmas shopping? So me personally, I don't want to hear the Christmas music. I do not want to decorate for Christmas, but I do think it is time to shop. You people?
I think anyone can do what. Here's the thing.
What do you do?
It's not okay to like say anything about what other people are able to do this time of year, because then we get attacked.
Sure.
But I think it's silly to go all the way in when leaves are still on the trees. But the preparation, the shopping, the deals, I'm okay with that. I'm already starting to think in my head, what do I want to get for folks?
Right, yes.
And I already have like at least one present already. So, but I like to think about these things months in advance, and I actually have notes on my phone where when I hear, like, if I'm talking to my mom and she's like, I really wish I had a pitcher, like a drink pitcher. I'll write it down in my notes, like Mom wants a pitcher. So all year long I'm thinking about it.
This is good. That's really smart. That's really smart. All right. So there are, of course, 51 days until Christmas, in case you needed to be reminded. 51 days, friends. 7 weeks to do your holiday shopping. Let's get you a jump start.
Consumer Reports has a look at the best buys in November.
Most tech products are going to be at their deepest discounts on Thanksgiving, but if you're looking for a TV, wait until Black Friday when they'll see their biggest deals. And keep in mind that sale prices will be fluctuating all month long, so if you see a good deal, grab it.
Here's one of those deals. The Samsung OLED 4K UHD TV. It's 65 inches and it's $1,000 off the regular price at ABT Electronics and Amazon. Let's head outside and enjoy dinner from the wood-fired outdoor pizza oven. The Geiber Fremont 29-inch wood-fired pizza oven is now on sale for $254 at Lowe's. Earbuds, they're on many a Christmas list. Consumer Reports says you get great sound quality with these Audio-Technica wireless earbuds for $79 on Amazon. Now here's something to buy for the house, but not the spouse. This RoboVac is a best buy at $149 on Amazon. It's the Eufy 11S vacuum. It's one of the quieter models tested.
And I got to tell you, I'm all about the RoboVac, but heed my advice. Get it for the house, not the spouse. Do not put a RoboVac under the tree for me and say, honey, this is going to help you. No.
Uh-oh. You need something fun.
Yes. That is for the house, people. And if you want to buy it for the house, then you do that, but do not buy it for your spouse.
What do you want for Christmas from your spouse?
Concert tickets.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm an experienced person versus a something person.
Something physical.
Yeah. So I want to do something.
A lot of times at Christmas we think of what do people need, and then you end up with something they don't really need it anyway. And it's just, I need to fill this void of stuff. It's kind of too much Christmas stuff, I think.
Stop getting me socks already.
Wow.
Right? I'm just saying. I know I need socks.
I could use brown socks. So I'm gonna.
You could use brown socks?
Yeah.
I'm gonna write that down. Brown socks.
I have so many black socks.
Brown socks, it is. I'm here for you.
Now we're going to movies, right, guys?
I don't know. I kind of like just to listen to Tanya go for a little bit. That was like, all right. Netflix, by the way, announced this major change to its subscription plans today. Folks looking to save some money now have the option of allowing ads in exchange for a $7 a month rate. The company launched the new ad-supported streaming plan today. And keep in mind, the plan does have a few drawbacks. Lower tier users cannot download shows to watch later, and some content will be restricted. Netflix says it is working on the issue. What do you think about that, Manning Franks?
Which is interesting because we know that Netflix during after the pandemic, you had an upshot of people, and then they had their worst year where they actually lost subscribers for the first time. This past month was the first time they only gained it. So this is only a matter of time. We have Hulu, I know, that is also ad supported. It was only a matter of time before Netflix joined some of those ranks. Wait for HBO Max, honestly, at some point to do the same.
I just know the prices have gone up. When I was in college, it was literally half the price that it is now.
Yeah.
I think it's, is it one of the most expensive ones? I'm not sure.
Netflix?
That's actually a really good question that I don't know off the top of my head. But remember, they have tiers. There's 4 tiers that are currently right now. So the standard, which is the one that I have, is like $15. And I remember, you're right, it was like $6 or $7 back in the day. And now that's one with ads.
You know it's just going to, I mean, that's just what they do over time.
I think I would probably pay more to not have the ads. I like not having the ads with my Netflix. You know, Hulu I know comes with the ads, but I'm used to that. But I wouldn't be used to that with Netflix. I don't know.
All right, before we go to break, anybody saying anything to us that we need to know about? Or
no,
we'll
not right now. I'm looking at it later. I'll look at it later. I didn't get a chance to have
We'll check it. We'll check it. We'll be right back.
All right, welcome back. So our weather's going to be pretty nice over the next couple of days. Tomorrow, sunny around 70. The weekend, warm in the mid 70s, just a small chance of a shower. I wanted to take a second and let you know about something coming up next week. It's called the total lunar eclipse, and it might be familiar to you. We just had one back in the month of May, but we get another one coming up on Election Day. So on Tuesday morning, this is what we're talking about. There will be a lunar eclipse. Now, these things begin as a partial eclipse. That's when the moon kind of starts to get slivered off by the shadow of the Earth. That's going to begin 4:09 on Tuesday morning. That's a good view. The best view really begins around 5:15 in the morning, peaking at around 6 in the morning. That's when that total eclipse will really be at its most impressive point. It'll start to end at 6:41, and at that point really don't care because it's already sunrise at 6:49. So just to recap for you, between 4 a.m. and around 6:30 a.m., it should look pretty spectacular. So wake up early on Tuesday. As long as we can keep clouds away, we will have a good view of that lunar eclipse. In the meantime, it's all about warm weather. Take a look at that. Winter weather is in the middle of the country, but not here. So we are going to stay on the warm side. Heading into tomorrow, all sun, no problems, right around 70. For the weekend itself, a little bit of a flow off the ocean could cause a couple of clouds for our area and maybe even a shower. That's mostly an issue for the foothills and North Carolina mountains. We'll stay pretty dry on Saturday, just a low chance of rain. And as far as Sunday goes, same kind of idea. So look at the temperatures, mid 70s for tomorrow, even upper 70s by Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. I will include a 30% shower chance both of those days, mostly for our western counties. And going into next week, as of now, it looks like good viewing for that lunar eclipse, which will be from 4:30 in the morning until about 7. After that, we start to cool things down, low to mid 60s for Wednesday and Thursday, and there will be a coastal low pressure system that gives us better chances for rain.
The winning numbers that didn't find a ticket. No one had a matching ticket for last night's $1.2 billion Powerball jackpot. Because no one won, the prize now is $1.5 billion. The next drawing is on Saturday, November 5th. If a player wins Saturday's jackpot, it could rank as the second largest jackpot in Powerball history. Chad, I know that this is your favorite story of the day.
Loves the lottery.
So I am not going to get on my soapbox about this, but I am going to talk about something else.
Okay.
So these lottery people are sneaky. Back in August, they added a third drawing per week.
Mm-hmm.
They used to only do 2 drawings per week. They added a third one because it means the jackpots grow quicker.
And then more people buy tickets.
And then
when
more
the
people buy
jackpots go up.
tickets because they make the news and then they want to be a part of it. So they've added a third day and now have put this frenzy that will never end.
Until someone wins.
You're right.
All right, so explain what we talked about odds, because a lot of people, myself included, were saying, oh, well, the more people that buy tickets, the less chance you have to win. But that's not true. The odds stay the same, right?
Yeah, so you probably see that we've said it before that your odds of winning are 1 in 292 million. Well, that's how many combinations there are of the balls.
No matter how many people buy tickets.
No matter how many. One person could buy a ticket and your odds of winning are still 292 million because you have to guess that specific combination.
If you say it that way, if you're the only person that played the lottery, you still probably won't win. I mean, that's crazy.
So I didn't get on my soapbox this time, Lauren.
Do you plan to play?
I don't know. We'll see. No, I won't be playing. One thing I will be playing, though, is this. Actually, I can't play this, but you should play this. We are your official home of the Carolina Panthers, and we've got the sound effects to prove it. Ooh, gosh, you love when it's on time, right? We've got a special treat for fans looking to score some tickets. Find the trivia link on our website or on the News 2 app. Sign in with your Facebook or email account, then fill out some basic information and take the trivia. The contest is live right now and will be active until tomorrow at 6 p.m. We will randomly pick a winner who will get 2 tickets to the game. Again, the first step is finding the trivia link on our website or app. You can play as many times as you'd like. We'll be right back.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Hey, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Hampshire.
Yo, check 1 2 1 2 3 4 1 1 2 3 4 1 4 3 2 0.
Ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie, blah, 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 blah.
They're praying for a tip that could lead to an arrest. We're live right outside House Divided, which used to be Mark's restaurant.
Have you ever felt like you might have a mild addiction to something? I've recently started feeling that way about social media. I set my phone down after using it, then pick it back up seconds later and look for another app to explore. Oftentimes, I'll go into the same app I just closed moments earlier. It's like I was looking at the app in autopilot by habit and didn't even realize it until I opened it again and saw the same result. Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter. It's like a need to see what I've missed, but also simple muscle memory. I suppose it's a good thing that I've realized the problem, but I don't know the solution. We're so attached to social media, I'm not sure I could even disconnect if I wanted to. Elon Musk posted this week that he wants to charge $8 per month for verified Twitter accounts. Honestly, I'm okay with it because it gives me a reason to log off Twitter for good. It's my least favorite app, and it would mean one fewer to think about. I know it wouldn't solve my problem altogether, but it's a good place to start. Over the years, I've seen friends give up social media for Lent or delete their accounts as a New Year's resolution. They always seem to be happy with their decision after making it. I'm not sure if it's the right solution for me, but I need to do something. That's just my 2 cents. And your 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts right now.
An Eden man is behind bars accused of making weapons of mass destruction.
Police arrested 61-year-old Wayne Madison Wednesday. He was initially booked into jail on a $5 million bond, but after his first hearing today, it was raised to $10 million.
WFMY News 2's Avery Powell live in Eden with the latest on the investigation and what neighbors are saying.
Police still have this street called the Boulevard blocked off, and officers tell us it could stay that